Hey everybody, what's up? I want to talk about how it is imperative when dealing with very, very challenging people that we get back up regardless and we continue fighting the good fight. Does Tanya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan ring a bell? Well, if you remember, and I'll just talk about the situation for those that may be younger. So years ago, it was 1990. It was during the Olympics actually. Tanya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan were competing in the figure skating competition, or they were on the same U.S. Olympic team, but uh, I don't know if Nancy Kerrigan was favored above Tanya Harding, but one day a man came up and struck Nancy Kerrigan in the knee with a metal pole, and she was down for the count, and everyone said, "What the heck happened?" Come to find out, Tanya Harding was part of the plot. And she basically wanted to get rid of the competition. And so, anyways, Nancy Kerrigan, I'll just read this. She did not win the gold medal after being struck in the knee, but she did recover remarkably to win the silver medal. And despite the injury from the attack in January 1994, she competed in Lillehammer just weeks later, finishing behind gold medalist Oksana Bayol. So, regardless of life, there's always going to be a Tanya Harding out there, and I think it's worse if you have a either higher intelligence, you have a certain quality about you that is, maybe you have always been gifted with good looks, maybe you've had a more pleasant personality, and maybe you were popular. Maybe you just had an easier go at life. So unfortunately, even if these were gifts, and it is not of your fault because it just, life may have been easier for you in a certain way, there's always going to be someone out there who is competing against you. And the fact of the matter is, we don't even know. If you're like me, you kind of say, well, if you were either bullied as a kid or considered, chunky or whatever, I never thought I was better than other people. So I was never even in my frame of mind that I exceeded more so than someone else, or I was smarter than someone else, or I had an easier go at life. I never thought that. So even though you know deep down in your heart that it's not in you to ever put yourself above someone else, there's other people who are insecure, who will always target you, who will always try to knock you when you're down. And it's just one of those situations where what can you do? You can't really do anything about it, because a lot of times they're underhanded, and all of a sudden one day you'll say, well, I never realized that we had beef. I didn't do, I never went out of my way to cause someone else harm. So anyways, you have to just remember there's always a Tanya Harding out there. But just like Nancy Kerrigan, she had to get back up. She had to say screw it. She had to train, and then she went on to win the silver. I'll tell you what, if that is not an example of what we can do to survive in this world, I don't know what is. So anyways, I just wanted to share that. I thought it was imperative, as everything else I believe I say is too. But anyways, I hope you're all having a great day, and I will be back.